She'll be presenting for us. We'll go ahead and give her the next 10, 15 minutes or so. And then at that point in time, we'll open it up to just a group discussion. So we'll go ahead and turn it over to you, Megan.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so the topic that I signed up for was getting new coaches started right. And I know that this is definitely more than just, yay, I signed up a new coach. Okay, where's the next coach? You know what I mean? It definitely is, if you want to do it right, you got to do it right, okay? So these are the steps that I do when I bring on a new coach onto our team. So the first thing that I do is I have a new coach email that I send out to them. And I actually use Automatic CEO. And so I have my own email in there. So I add them into the Automatic CEO and I get them set up with 2 emails that they'll get. The first one is basically, yay, welcome to the team. Here's your, what do I have? What all do I have in there? I think I tell them in that email what their website is to send people to, because a lot of them don't even know what their own website is. And I also have a link to an About Me form, which the About Me form, I ask questions, basically, you know, where they're at, what they want out of it, how long they expect to work in order to reach those goals. You know what I mean? Just so that I can know what it is they want and how fast they want to move, or how slow they want to move, and that they're just happy being a discount coach or a VIP member. You know what I mean? So then they fill out the survey, the About Me form, and then I get an email with the link that they have filled it out. So then from there, okay, so that's the first email that they get set up with. The second email that they get set up with goes out to them on day 21. And that is an email telling them that in about a week, they'll be getting their Shakeology sent to them automatically, so that they know, so that if they need to change the flavor or anything, they can do that. Because I've had a few that were like, what's this charge? I didn't even know. And then, you know, then you feel like crap and they feel like crap and it's already crappy from the get-go. Okay, so I want to make sure that they know that that's coming out. I also tell them about that same day, your coach fee's coming out, your $15.95 coach fee, so they expect that too. And also, if you want to keep the club membership, which is good for 3 months, this is everything that it gives you, blah, 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 that's going to be taken out about the same time as well. So that they can expect those 3 charges and not have any surprises. So that's the second email that goes out to them. And in the email, it has the link to email customer service or coach relations, and also the link that they can click to do the online chat if they would rather do that as well. And it also has the telephone number in there. Any possible way that they need to, they can get a hold of coach relations. Okay, so those are the 2 emails that I have sent out to them. For our team, I really like getting stuff, earning stuff, you know what I mean? And so for our team, what I've done is I've designed tank tops for the guys and the girls. They're really cute. They say Coach across the front, Team Beauty and Beast Fitness down the side, and then on the back, Ask Me About, with a bunch of the logos, right? So I send those out to my new coaches with like a welcome letter too. I don't know. It's fun. They like them. I like them. I don't know. It's fun. And it gives us something to all wear when we all meet up. If we plan on having like a group picture taken or something like that. So I have a new gift for my coaches, a gift for my new coaches. And when they rank advanced to Emerald, they have a gift. When they rank advanced to Ruby, they have a gift. When they rank advanced to Diamond, they have a gift too. So it's kind of fun. I enjoy it, but so then I get that sent out to them, and then I get them on a one-on-one Zoom call. And this is where we go over their About Me form, go over their goals. I talk about the importance of getting to Emerald, why you want to get to Emerald, and how to get to Emerald as fast as they can. I also talk with them about Success Starter, and I let them know that I'm going to be adding them into our 4-week training group on Facebook. And my group, I was doing it starting the beginning of every month and just doing a whole new group set every month. But I've decided, what do you do with the coaches that decide they want to become a coach a week after it starts? Make them wait 3 weeks till all the excitement's all gone? You know what I mean? So I have an ongoing group. So all the files are in there. They go into day 1, day 2, and do all the trainings that way. So when I'm doing my weekly one-on-one call with them, I tell them, okay, your goal is to get from day 1 to day 7 this week. Okay, I don't care if they do 3 of the days in one day and skip a day or 2, you know what I mean? Just depending on their time. I ask them to get the week's worth done within the next week before we talk again. If that makes sense. And then the next week I'll give them the assignment to do day 7 through day 14, Oh, also, okay, so the one-on-one calls, got that all done. This is something that I is just an idea. Okay, I haven't done this yet, but I think it's a good idea. I started thinking, okay, so what can we do to get, you can train a coach, you can tell them what they need to do, but essentially it's up to them to go out and start talking to their friends and their family, right? And until they're actually ready to do that, they're not going to really go very far. So what I started thinking was, what if we started holding like a grand opening party for them? Okay, and this, if they're in town, it could be like a shake and share at their house. They could invite their friends and their family to. Me or you as their coach would be there to do the shake and share so that you can answer all the questions, because brand new coaches, I think that's the thing that's the scariest, is that they are afraid they don't know everything, which as a brand new coach, you don't know everything, So I was thinking doing a grand opening for them would get them seeing success right from the get-go, probably get them to Emerald a lot faster than just setting them loose. So you can do those shake and shares in town with your coach, or if they're not, I was thinking of like a Facebook party. I don't know if you guys have ever done any of those, where you can just do an event. They can invite the people, all their friends and family, to their event page. And then you can post videos of what it is we do, right? Talk about challenge groups, talk about coaching. And then I was even thinking too, if that's the route I decide to go with my online ones, having the new coach make just a 2-minute video of why they're excited to do this, what they want out of it, basically, you know what I mean? Just so that it can be a little bit more personal to their friends and their family. So it's not just me doing all the videos, you know what I mean? So that was one thing I was thinking of. The other possible way is to do like a Zoom call like this and have like a PowerPoint thing done up and do a quick presentation, but you can also have the new coach being there, able to talk, and you can kind of see the response that you're getting back from people too. So Grand opening parties. I don't know.
Cool. Has anybody thought about that idea before? Anybody done anything similar to that? Okay, cool. Well, you have to let us know how it goes, Megan, for sure.
Yeah.
So, question for you. So, I heard you say that you do a weekly one-on-one with your team. Tell us a little bit about those. I think that's really cool.
Okay, so the weekly one-on-one calls with a brand new coach, basically for that, because I only give them 15 minutes, okay? So I'm not spending all day on Zoom calls all the time. So basically for the first 4 weeks with them, going through the 4-week training is basically just them asking questions and me answering questions that they have. I do, after they have gotten through their training, their 4-week training group, if they are a business builder and want to build, I will continue my one-on-one Zoom calls with them every week. And in that case, I do the same thing. I usually ask them if there's anything they wanted to talk to me about right from the get-go, because I don't want to. I have a checklist or like a list of questions that I ask them, but that's only if there's nothing that they want to tell me. They don't have any questions, all that good stuff, which is basically, I ask them, I make sure that they're doing their workouts. I make sure that they're drinking their shake, reading their personal development. I ask them what they're reading. You know what I mean? I ask them how many people they invited the week before and what their goal is for invites for the current week. I ask them what their monthly goal is right from the get-go. I ask them what their weekly goals are. And they're their goals. I'm not setting their goals for them. So they're telling me, I'm writing it down, and then the next week I say, hey, so how's your goals going? You know what I mean? So that they know that they have somebody checking in on them, because a lot of times, at least for me personally, I set goals, and if nobody knows about them and I'm the only one who knows about them, then it doesn't really, the only person who gets let down is myself.
It's a little easier to fudge on your goals, right?
Yeah.
When you're the only one holding yourself accountable.
Yeah,
perfect.
Exactly.
So in that light, how is the response with them then? Are they usually following through on their goals, or are they working towards them when they know they're going to talk with you, or how does that work?
It seems like a lot of times they really set their goals high because they want to have like these amazing weeks, you know what I mean? So a lot of times they don't quite hit their goal, but being halfway to their goal is a lot better than being 0% of the way to their goal. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. And at the end, I kind of ask them, so how do you feel? I ask them, how do you feel your overall progress has been this week? You know what I mean? So I can kind of get a feel if they had a hard week, you know what I mean? And there's things that we can talk about, or if they feel like they took a step forward and they're actually progressing as a coach.
That's awesome. Perfect. Wonderful. I like that a lot, because I think, especially with a brand new coach or a business building coach, that it's so important to be able to connect with them, and know where they're at, up here. Mm-hmm. Because things can be difficult, and it's tough when you start maybe having self-doubt, or you might be struggling with a specific thing, or you may even be having personal issues. You might be having marital problems, or your mom might have just died or something, and it's hard to really know how to motivate somebody if you don't know what's going down. So I love that approach. That's really cool. Super awesome. Thanks. Does anybody have any questions for Megan on anything else that she does with her, getting started right process? Anything that you guys would like to comment on?
I do.
All righty. Amanda, how are you today?
I'm good. I had you guys off video because I wasn't dressed appropriately. I'm still not. Sorry.
You're good.
I have my little one here, and we do a the workout, I was thinking 11 Pacific. So I was halfway through my workout. So I was like, I'm putting Tony on mute. I'll listen to you guys. And I took notes on the back of my thing. So don't worry, I was really listening. I wanted to ask a couple of simple questions. I wanted to ask what you use for your About Me form. I do that same process, but I currently use what was handed down from my downline is just a Word document. But I use Wufoo forms for other things. I haven't paid for the pro account for that just because you get 3. I have one for a coaching opportunity, one for my physical challenge group, and then one for something else I can't think. So to do more than 3, you have to pay for Wufoo. So I was wondering if she uses that or something else, just because I hate the Word one. Because it just things get jumbled, and then when you return, if you ever forward it to someone, you're going to include other text. I don't like that, so I'm looking for an alternative to just a. So, what do you use for your form? That's the first question.
I actually use SurveyMonkey.
Okay.
And that one, I didn't know that Wufoo you could only have 3 forms before you had to start paying for it. I don't pay for SurveyMonkey. I think that one you can do as many forms as you want. I mean, I have like 10, and
awesome.
all different things. You know what I mean? But you're limited to 10 questions.
Well, that's not bad, because I think being limited to 10 questions is probably a good thing to keep you from overkilling them. So that's actually probably a bonus.
Yeah.
And then I liked your gifts. I do a tank for mine. I usually do it at each Super Saturday. I give my new coaches a tank, and anyone who's gotten to Emerald, I give them a journal with some personal stuff. So I liked that. And then, I was thinking about, I do my welcome calls, my GSR calls, usually just on the telephone. But I really like that you do a Zoom call. And I know Scotty Hobbs does this too, because I've seen some of his stuff about it. I think that's really smart, because when we do team training calls, or monthly team calls or whatever, we always use Zoom. So it's a good way to get them familiar with it and have it downloaded and have an account ready and stuff before they're like missing a team call. Mm-hmm. And then also that FaceTime connection. Mm-hmm. And then as far as feedback for your party thing, I like that idea. The only thing I worry about, I hesitate about, is that I have had coaches kind of do that on their own before, who totally shot themselves in the foot with killing their friends and family. Kind of like you get these unique, oh my God, did you poop? I think he pooped. Sorry, it really stinks. This is Elijah. And then he just walked up to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did you poo-poo? Anyway, so like I get thrown in these parties, I think I'll have, it is Jamberry Nails, whatever it is, and it's really annoying. Wrapped parties, and you don't get invited. And I worry about when they're new, they don't realize the importance of the relationship building. And so I worry they might alienate their warm market right away before they really know what they're doing. So I think it could work, and it is a good idea, but I would just be really careful of that, because I had a coach once create a group, a challenge group, which was an event page on Facebook, which she added everyone on her friends list and her family, and said, she typoed it, so it said Beach Boy group, right, instead of Beach Body, which is even worse. And then she was like, buy all your products from me, here's what we have, and just blasted a bunch of pictures, which nobody wants, right? So I would just be really careful, because she would have made a great coach. She lost like 8 pounds with me, and she ended up irritating all her friends and family really quickly by blasting them in that group. And then she's like, no one wants to talk to me about this. And I'm like, and it was kind of hard to fix after the fact. Mm-hmm. And when you do that with people, it takes time to repair that relationship. If you kind of mess up, and we've all made mistakes like that, but at least if you're personally inviting people, you only alienate one at a time if you do something bad, and then you're like, okay, that didn't work. What did I do wrong? Mm-hmm. I mean, I know I use examples of my old stuff with my old messages with my coaches to say, look at this is an error. This really didn't work. Don't do this. So at least I know that when I did do those messages, I sent it to one person or something, and then I was like, oh my God, that was a bad idea. So that's the only feedback I have on that. If you were really involved in it and kind of kept on top of things, I think at work, but it's also how much time do you have to do that with all your new coaches, you know, and monitor their groups as well as your own team group.
The only other thing too that I was thinking on that is like, it would be interesting to see the dynamic between, you know, you as the sponsoring coach and them as the new coach, to where like they didn't feel like they're just along for the ride. You know what I mean?
You
like
do all the work.
they had ownership of it, and they were the one really in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm sure there's always a new thing that you can do and try, and if it works great, then it works great. You know, and if it doesn't, then back to the drawing board. So super cool.
Yeah. Well, and just
Thank you.
a little note about that too is I think an idea, rather than telling them to invite their entire Facebook friends list, to invite their close friends and family, and rather than just like automatically adding them into this event page or whatever, telling your coach to message all of them before and say, hey, this is kind of what I'm doing, and I'm having this party as a grand opening for me. Would you want to come or something? You know what I mean? That way, before anything, they've already kind of consented to be there. You know what I mean? And then the group definitely wouldn't be like, buy everything from her. You know what I mean? So it'd be a little bit more
vetted.
chill.
You know, you'd have everything, you know, vetted out. That's good. So anybody else here use SurveyMonkey for their getting started or getting to know you email? Does anybody else use that at all? I think that's a really cool idea, because like can you tell us about how that works and how the feedback you get comes to you and all of that?
Yeah. So basically with SurveyMonkey, you have a link to that survey. And in my email, I do fill out the About Me form, and then I link it with the link. You know what I mean? So you don't actually see SurveyMonkey 237, whatever the link actually is. Just makes it look cleaner. But, and then as soon as somebody's filled one out, I get an email saying I have a new response. So then I go into SurveyMonkey and go into that form, and then you click Analyze Results and then Individual Results. And usually it's the last one that's on there is the one that comes up, and I can see, because I actually have them like digitally sign it. Because otherwise if you don't have one of your questions as name, information, blah, 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 you don't know who the survey's from. So you got to make sure you have in there who it is. So my very last question, well, okay, so maybe while you guys are on here real fast, I will pull it up, and I can actually read you all the questions that I have, because one of the things that I put in here, if I can do it real quickly, come on, sign in with Google. Okay, let's see.
So one other question too I'd like to see, and I'm sure we'll get to this, but do you break it up into like, you know, what their interests are in Beachbody, if they want to be a discount coach or a business builder?
Yep.
Is that included in your email?
It is. Okay.
Perfect.
Well, in this About Me form. Okay, so the first question that I have is, what is your why? Why did you decide to become a coach? And then I left that open so that they can actually type what it is they want. Question number 2, what are your financial goals? Also just a text box so that they can type it in. Question number 3 is, what is your time frame to reach these goals? Because then I can kind of see if they're wanting, you know, $10,000 a month, and to be earning that the next month, you know, that's a little unrealistic. You know what I mean? Question number 4 is, how much time do you have each day to work towards reaching your goals? So then I can kind of see how much time each day they have to work,
That's a fantastic question, by the way, because it allows you to set realistic expectations on what they're capable of.
Right, exactly.
If they've got an hour, they're not going to be cruising like somebody who has the whole day. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Question number 5 is what workout are you currently doing or getting ready to start? Question number 6 is, are you drinking Shakeology? And on this one, I had it multiple choice, and I can't remember what all my questions were, but the first one was like, no. The second one was like, I haven't, but I'm excited to get started drinking it. And then the third one was, yes, I'm already addicted. It's kind of funny, but I love it because, that's me. I'm already addicted. Question number 7 is, are you willing to read or listen to personal development, which makes you grow as a person and in turn makes you a better coach? And then that's a yes or no. Question number 8 is, if you ever need anything, you will come to me, your coach, and ask for guidance so that they know that, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know when somebody's struggling with something if you don't tell me, is basically what that's saying. And then question number 9 is, you know that I will help you in any way possible, but you know that ultimately it is up to you to build your business. And then that one I had multiple choices, like I totally agree, or no, I don't see it that way, or something like that. And then question number 10 is signed, and then they type in their name. So, but
fantastic. I really like the SurveyMonkey approach. It's cool because you do have that multiple choice variety, and they don't have to write everything out. Kind of saves time in specific ways, but you can also keep it open-ended if you wanted. So that's really cool. Fantastic. Well, awesome. So let's go ahead and do this at any point right now. Does anybody else have anything else, any other questions they have for Megan so far? Okay. Go ahead, Tim.
No, it's more of a kind of an ad. I usually put it to what they call the SMART test. Make sure that, like, when they do their goals, that it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Because what I find a lot of times is the new coaches will come out with these numbers and stuff that aren't realistic based on what the time they're given to do it in. And so I make them go back and do that.
So can you elaborate again on the acronym of the SMART goal?
SMART, it's basically, what is the specific goal? How are you going to measure it? Is it achievable? Is the goal realistic? And then it's got to be time bound. By when are you going to do this? So, a lot of times they're like, well, I'm going to be a 3-star or 5-star diamond in the next 6 months. And then you have to go back, well, that's your specific. How are you going to measure it? Is it achievable? I make them work that out. Because for most people, that's not a realistic goal, and they wind up getting discouraged and they quit. So I really try to make them look at that. Somebody that's going to rank advance that fast is usually running the business full time, not part time.
I love it. That's awesome. SMART. Using that SMART system for goals is cool, and it's fun because it's easy to remember, but it's also very useful. I love it. That's great. Fantastic. Anybody else have anything else that they do? I mean, let's just open it up to kind of some of the best practices that you guys have seen so far. What have you guys seen that really has been great for you? Something maybe your coach did for you, or something that you do for your coaches that you've got a good, feedback on, or good, results from? Anybody have anything they'd like to share with getting coaches started right? Okay, so one thing that I would love to ask you guys about is you're helping your coaches start off by hitting Success Club. Does anybody have like a strategy for that they'd like to share? So when a new coach joins the business, I think one of the important things to really help them do is reach Success Club. And the reason why is if they're able to hit Success Club, they're able to recoup the costs of being, paying for their Shakeology, which is so important, especially if you're shooting for somebody like that is a business builder and they are looking for an income opportunity. I think there's a lot of moms out there that are like, I would love to work from home. This is fantastic. I can exercise and be with my kids. This is amazing, which it really is. But we need to help them be a source of income, have Beachbody be a source of income instead of being an expense for them. So, talk to me about your guys' strategies on that count. Like what do you do with a brand new coach to kind of help them hit Success Club? Can somebody speak to that?
I can say that I started incorporating it earlier now. I think that I wasn't doing a very good job. It's a little early to say how this is going to work, but I have a couple people that hit consistently or are very close, but some are hitting 8, but I've been Success Club 10 or more since I started every single month. And so, yeah, woo. So I'm going on, I don't know, like 18 months straight. And that's something I can't seem to duplicate. So I started looking at what maybe I was doing. And a lot of times I would hear like, oh, it's so easy for you though. You get this, you do that every month, or you hit SC22 last month, or you did this. And I didn't really know how to respond to it. So what I started doing was I started just recently setting the expectation of hitting Success Club 5 early. We had always talked about it in my GSR call, like what it means and stuff. But now it's in my Coach Open House. It's part of the things we address in the open house is what are you going to do the first month? You're going to get to Emerald. You're going to hit Success Club. And I think it goes back to that 4-minute mile. I'm sure you guys have all heard and seen. It's like once someone's done it, then it's attainable. Well, it's the same thing. Once they've hit Success Club 5 once, it's like getting your first sale. You're like, oh my God, that's so exciting. And then it's like, now what? Well, when you hit Success Club, then you're like, okay, I did it. Like, it's not as hard as I thought. It kind of takes the sting off it a little bit and makes it seem more achievable for them. And then from there, they could try and hit 10, or maybe they can do 5 and 1 and 5 and a spouse. But making sure that they learn that they can hit 5 easily and really reinforcing that it's only 3 people you're helping. And if they're really in this, like for my team, I really want people that want to help people. I don't want like a team of sales force, like I want helpers. I want people that want to help. So if that's their goal, then 3 people to help every month is the bare minimum, and 5 is your ideal. So that's kind of what we set it up as. And I've started focusing on that as much as I can instead of right from the beginning, like the open house. Like this is how we're going to measure that you're doing the things you need to do to get forward. And so that's what I'm doing now.
I love that. That's fantastic, Amanda. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's important to kind of set those expectations early on, and hopefully if they've caught that wave, early on, they're able to get a win really early too. Because I always talk about silencing the haters, right? So you've got these guys that are like naysayers, and maybe it might be a spouse, or it could be a friend, or it could be somebody else. It's like, oh, you're doing that, and like they're the negative Nellies that are kind of trying to pull your people down, And if you're able to help your people get to Success Club 5 their first month, then it's like, bam, I just paid for my Shakeology right there. Good. You know what I mean? It gives them a win early on. And then they're like, oh, I can totally do this. And it really helps them. It's super cool. So thank you so much for sharing that. One other thing I'd like to add, we are going to run out of time here in a second, but the new Coach Basics program is in the system. Everybody that I've talked to who's using it absolutely loves it. Has anybody used it before? I'm seeing some head nods. Awesome.
That's what I was going to say, Joe. I was going to say that's what I do. And then I have a weekly call with my personally sponsored coaches. And we talk about best practices. So like the first 15 minutes, I kind of just talk about a topic. And then I open it up to everybody and we talk about best practices on hitting Success Club. So that's what I do.